Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well. So children, आप अगर किसी और जगह पे born हुए हो, okay? तो आपके पास उनकी memories है? Do you remember that place? If yes, then that means that you were attached to that place and it has made an impact in your mind and you feel that that's your hometown. So जिस जगह पे हम born होते हैं, जहाँ पे हम grow होते हैं, we always love that place and we love everything about that place. So let's look at this story wherein the author is talking about his childhood bliss. That's the name of the chapter, okay? So let's see what is he telling us about the hometown where he was born, okay? Let's read the prologue. The memories of the hometown remain deeply ingrained in our mind, evoking a strong sense of nostalgia. Okay, the familiar scents, tastes, and sounds can transport us back to a time of innocence and remind us of the vibrant expressions that shaped our early years. The influences of the birthplace continue to shape our identity. No matter where we are, the traditions, languages, and customs we grew up with leave an indelible mark, guiding our perspectives and influencing the way we engage with the world. Let us read more about it in this chapter. So बच्चों, जहाँ पे हम born होते हैं, okay, जहाँ पे हमारा करियर बनता है, हमारी ग्रोथ होती है, हम अलग अलग चीज़ें सीखते हैं, जैसे जैसे हम our life takes a shape, okay, those places always have a good impact on us, okay, वो हमारी childhood memories होती है, जिन्हें हम बार बार याद करते हैं और खुश हो जाते हैं. So let's talk about all these things in this chapter, okay. Before that, let's do a warm up. Do you love your hometown so much that you yearn to see it or return to it as early as possible when you are away? So बच्चों, क्या आपको ऐसे लगता है कि आपका जो hometown है, okay, do you want to visit it again and again? It keeps on calling you. Is it? So if yes, then do discuss it with your friends and teachers. Okay, now let's read this chapter. It is probably at dawn and dusk that Delhi offers the most beautiful part of itself. I remember as a child going away from Delhi to my grandfather's house and on holiday to hill station. When we returned, it was always a night journey. My mother would shake us awake as we neared the Yamuna River. Delhi lay just beyond it. Flocks of squawking mynas and parrots would be encircling the pink sky as the steam train traveled towards Delhi, and soon it was time for the morning tea. So, ये बच्चा हमें मतलब the author is telling us that it is probably at dawn and dusk. Dawn and dusk वो moment होता है, it is before the sunrise or before the sunset. Dawn is before the sunrise and dusk is before the sunset, okay. That he felt that the skies of Delhi, they look beautiful, okay. Delhi looked beautiful before dawn and dusk, you know, probably around dawn and dusk. और उनको याद है कि जैसे जब वो छोटे थे तो वो कैसे हम उनके ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स के यहाँ पे रहने जाते थे, ओके, हॉलीडेज़ पे हिल स्टेशंस पे जाते थे, और जब वो रात वापस आते थे तो जनरली उनकी जो जर्नी होती थी वो नाइट जर्नी होती थी और सुबह वो दिल्ली पहुँचते थे, ओके. And how he used to be greeted with the sounds of mynas and parrots, okay, who used to be circling in the pink skies of Delhi, okay. So tea was a simple affair, bought from vendors who marched up and down the train with a large kettle, chanting, "Hot tea, hot tea." It was served in terracotta cups that added to the sugary, milky tea a delicious flavor of their or चाय पीने के बाद जो मम्मी थी ना, अपने पर्स में हाथ डाल के कॉइन्स निकाल के इनके हाथों में पकड़ा देती थी, तभी उनको समझ में आता था कि अब ये ट्रेन जो है यमुना ब्रिज क्रॉस करने वाली है, ओके. सो ईच चाइल्ड आर्म्ड विद अ हैंडफुल ऑफ कॉइन्स वुड चूज अ पोजिशन बाय अ विंडो, okay. We would take one coin at a time and hurl it onto the holy currents of the Yamuna. If the coin hit the water, our mother told us we would be blessed. If it hit a washerman beating clothes on a sandy island or the bridge, then no blessings could be expected. We would try to get our blessings as quickly as possible because the approaching city called for our full attention. with the sun raining gold on it. The domes and minarets of the 17th century Mughal capital looked like they might be in a miniature painting. So, जैसे वो कॉइन्स उनके हाथ में आ जाते थे, वो क्या करते थे, यमुना रिवर जो आती थी वो उसमें दे यूज्ड टू फ्लिंग द कॉइन्स इन द रिवर मेकिंग अ विश, ओके। और मम्मी कहती थी उनकी कि अगर ये कॉइन्स नदी के अंदर गए, ओके, दैट मीन्स यू आर ब्लेस्ड, ओके, इफ दे टच द वाटर। पर अगर किसी वॉशरमैन को या ब्रिज को हिट कर गए तो दैट मीन्स आपको कोई भी ब्लेसिंग नहीं मिलेगी, ओके। तो ये बच्चे जल्दी जल्दी कॉइन्स फेंकते थे ताकि वो उनको फुल अटेंशन था, नेक्स्ट था उनका बिफोर दे रीच द सिटी, ओके। दे वांटेड टू सी द ब्यूटीफुल सिटी, क्योंकि जो मीनारे दिखते थे धूप में, जब धूप उनके ऊपर गिरती थी, जो मीनारे दिखते थे, जो डोम्स दिखते थे, ओके, जो 17th सेंचुरी के मुगल एम्परर्स ने बनाए थे, ओके, दे इट्स टू लुक लाइक एज इफ इट इज़ लाइक अ मिनिएचर पेंटिंग which is depicting all those things of what Mughals have created, okay, क्योंकि दिल्ली जो था मुगलों का कैपिटल था। This was my city, the city where I was born and the city of my ancestors. My heart invariably skipped a beat when I saw it. Delhi, India's capital city, is a combination of many Delhis. For the last 1,000 years, as rulers replaced each other, one Delhi was torn down to build another, often with the stones of its former self, okay? Of all Delhi's conquerors in the last millennium, the Mughals were perhaps the most glorious, with their great wealth and reputed taste. They built two cities, of which Shahjahanabad, okay, now called the Old City, became famous throughout the ancient world as the seat of the Grand Mughal. Coming from distant places, these rulers longed for the food and climate of their home. They could do nothing about the weather, but they built gardens, water tanks, and canals. They carved marble canals that went through their palace bedrooms, and they ate their own food. As the years went by, some of their dishes were included and accepted as part of the city's local food. Persian-style pulavs that combined meat and rice, samosas, pakoris, and of course tea. So this author is so proud of his city, okay, of Delhi, कि जैसे ही वो दिल्ली में enter करते, it is to skip a beat, okay. कभी-कभी आपको होता है ना, when you are really excited of being to a place, you skip a heartbeat, okay. You feel that happiness, okay, in your body, okay. You feel that happiness, that butterflies in your stomach, okay, and then you feel so proud to be a part of that city where you've grown, okay. And he feels that Delhi itself is a combination of many Delhis. जो मुगलों ने इसको बना, बहुत सारे रूलर्स आए, उन्होंने उसको तोड़ा फिर बनाया, तोड़ा फिर बनाया, बट मुगलों ने जो हमारे सिटी के साथ किया है, द वे दे हैव कार्व्ड आवर सिटी, they made it look so beautiful, okay. They were the ones who built a lot of canals in it, okay. They built a lot of gardens in it, and they actually दिल्ली को भी उन्होंने दो इसमें ये कर दिया, दो सिटीज़ बांध दी। एक था जिसमें से एक था शाहजहांबाद, okay, which is now called the Old City, okay. और it was like so famous as the seat of the Grand Mughal, okay. They built gardens, they built water tanks, they built the canals, they carved marble canals, okay. और उन्होंने उसके साथ साथ उन्होंने अपने डिशेस भी लाई इस सिटी में, ओके, विच वर लाइक पुलाव विच कंबाइन मीट एंड राइस, samosas, pakoris, tea, okay. So children, let's track your performance through your My Performance Tracker, and let's see how much you have learned about Delhi so far. Okay, now let's move ahead. At my grandfather's house, the men in my family learned Persian poetry and ate delicate kebabs. The women, though allowed some education, were kept at home for most of the time. When they played tennis, the entire court was cleared so that no one could see them, dashing about in flowing saris and tennis shoes. On cold winter evenings, a wood fire was lit in the drawing room, where 3 benches stood in front of the fire. Here the children, about 2 dozen of us, would sit playing word games. So the author is saying कि जो उनका जो grandfather का house था वहाँ पे जो men थे घर के, they learned a lot about Persian poetry and they used to eat and have a lovely delicious kebabs and all. Okay, फिर वहाँ के जो women थे, they were not allowed so much of education, but फिर भी काफ़ी कुछ सीखा था उन्होंने. Okay, and जनरली जो women थे वो घर पे ही रहते थे. एंड जब वो टेनिस खेलने जाती थी लेडीज़ इन देयर फ्लोइंग साड़ीज एंड टेनिस शूज एंड ऑल, तब दे यूज्ड टू इंश्योर दैट नोबडी इज़ वॉचिंग देम. ओके, और जब कोल्ड ठंड आती थी तो ऐसे उनके लॉन्स में वो लोग वुड फायर जलाते थे. ओके, सो बिहाइंड द बेंचेस, ओके, वाज अ सर्कल ऑफ सोफाज एंड अ लार्ज चेयर. इट वाज फ्रॉम हियर दैट ग्रैंडफादर हेल्ड कोर्ट. He loved to lecture his grandchildren on Delhi's history, and his best opportunities came at family picnics. These were held in the winter or monsoon season in a well-tended garden of a 17th century tomb or a 12th century palace. The entire family would go for a picnic. Okay, during my childhood, it never occurred to me that families could come in sizes smaller than 30 people, swelling easily to a few thousands at the mention of a wedding. So he's saying that we had such a big family. Okay, जब वो वुड फायर के पास बैठते थे तो करीबन 2 डज़न बच्चे होते थे वो लोग. ओके, और जब उनके जो ग्रैंडफादर थे वो क्या करते थे, पीछे वाले साइड पे सोफाज लगते थे, बेंचेस के पीछे सोफाज लगते थे, एंड ही यूज्ड टू सिट देयर एंड लेक्चर द चिल्ड्रन एंड टॉक अबाउट हाउ दिल्ली वाज. ओके, एंड फिर जो फैमिली पिकनिक्स होती थी उनकी, तो वहाँ पे करीबन फैमिली पिकनिक्स में करीबन 30 लोग तो होते ही थे. सो द ऑथर, ओके, ही नेवर न्यू अबाउट एनी फैमिली विच वॉज लेस दैन 30 पीपल. ओके, सो फॉर हिम द स्मॉल थिंग्स नेवर हैपेंड ओनली. Okay, it was always a large size. Even the weddings used to have thousands of people. Preparations for the picnic would begin early in the morning. Potatoes in a hot tomato sauce, golden puris, warm moist meatballs, and jars of pickles would be packed, along with fruit in large baskets. 2 cars would stand ready, gleaming in the sun. The art of getting 30 people into 2 cars had long been mastered. So, पिकनिक पे जाते थे तब आलू पूड़ी होती थी. ओके, वार्म मॉइस्ट मीट बॉल्स होते थे, अलग अलग तरह के अचार होते थे, एंड देन 2 गाड़ियों में 30 लोग जाते थे. कैन यू इमेजिन चिल्ड्रन, 30 पीपल गोइंग इन 2 कार्स. ओके, नाउ दे हैड मास्टर्ड दैट आर्ट. ओके, एंड जब आप भी पिकनिक पे जाते तो आपकी मम्मी भी सब कुछ पैक करती होगी ना, ऐसे ही फैमिली पिकनिक पे जाने के बाद कि सब बास्केट में सब कुछ डाल के निकल लिए पिकनिक पे. Isn't it fun? It is lot of fun. The first layer consisted of short ladies and teenagers. अब देखो गाड़ी में कैसे बैठते थे. जो पहली लेयर होती थी गाड़ी में उसमें बैठते थे short ladies, okay, and teenagers. On their laps, ओके, वेन द सेकेंड लेयर. अब उनके गोद में सेकेंड लेयर होती थी जिसमें 10 से 12 साल के बच्चे होते थे. द थर्ड लेयर कंसिस्टेड ऑफ ऑल दोज बिलो द एज ऑफ 10, और उनके गोदी में बैठते थे दोज हु वर लेस देन 10 years old. कैन यू इमेजिन ट्रैवलिंग लाइक दैट? ओह, इजंट इट फन? ओके, द टॉल men sat in the front seat. On their laps sat the 10 to 12-year-olds holding the baskets and pots that could not be stuffed into the trunk. Once we reached the gardens of Qutub Minar, the children would rush to climb the sandstone tower while the picnic was laid out on a large cotton sheet. तो जो सामान सब रखने के लिए कॉटन शीट बिछा देते थे और बच्चे जो है कुतुब मीनार पहुंचते ही भाग जाते थे टावर क्लाइंब करने के लिए. उस टाइम पे द टावर यूज्ड टू बी ओपन. Okay, now it is not open for the visitors. Okay, once we saw all the food laid out, we would thunder down the 100 steps, jostling and competing to get there first. The foods and places of my childhood can still be found in Delhi. Mornings will start in a haze of familiar smoke sent skyward by millions of stoves and cookers. In those early hours, potatoes and peas are combined with ginger, turmeric, and green chilies. Chapatis were cooked over hot fires, buttered and stacked with the vegetables and a piece of mango pickle in a tiffin carrier to be carried by many people on their way to schools and offices, just as I did on my way to school in Delhi. So this is like a normal thing. He remembers about Delhi so much that he says that the food and the places of my childhood, they can still be found in Delhi. बच्चों दिल्ली में जो चीज़ें पहले से बनी हुई है by the Mughal emperors, they are still there and they have been still maintained. Some of the places are still very beautiful, okay, and most of the people love going for picnics there. So बच्चों आपको भी जब वेकेशंस आते हैं अपने पेरेंट्स को बोलो कि चलो बैग पैक करते हैं, सामान भरते हैं, बास्केट में डालते हैं, लेट्स गो फॉर अ पिकनिक टू वन ऑफ दीज ब्यूटिफुल प्लेसेस. बट चिल्ड्रन, please don't loiter around there, okay, and please don't spoil the beauty of that place by littering things, okay, and do take good care of these places because they are historical, okay, they are the ones, okay, which enhance the beauty of our city. So like this author remembers about the days when they used to have aloo puri, or they used to have the chapatis made with ghee on them and the vegetables and the pickles packed and all. So he remembers all these beautiful memories of his hometown. अगर आप दिल्ली के नहीं हो और आप किसी और शहर में पले बड़े हो and now you've been transferred to Delhi, I'm sure you must be remembering about that city also, and you must be having good memories about that city also. So do discuss about all these things with your friends and all, and do keep your city neat and clean. Okay, children? So now quickly reread this chapter, learn the important words, the difficult words, and don't forget to do the back exercises.